Hello, everybody.
Is that time dilation in effect? Are we going towards a black hole or something?
Something like that. Something like that. Hello, everybody. How we all doing? Good?
Well, how are you?
Yeah. Pretty good.
Good. Oh,
I think you have people in the wrong spots.
Oh, did I do that again?
Yeah.
Probably.
Ah, it's because
Wait,
I was sitting here
different
eating
spot.
ramen noodles. Like, I have food in front of me. I'm glad.
To be fair, I wasn't here.
All
so-
right, I'm playing Stallboy. You're playing Bellum. Let's do this.
I'm an orc, but I'm not really an orc, and I got a bow.
That was.
I'm smarter than you.
Look, if I was Bellum, but whenever there's an orc PC, I always want to give them a voice that the PC can never do. It always makes me real sad. There's actually a PC in like Yavaskir that I'm so excited to be an NPC because like that character's retired, who's an orc, and I'm just like, I want someone to meet them just so I can do that character justice. Finally, they can have the voice they were always meant to have.
Okay, well, always excited about that, and that's what matters. That's
Yeah.
what matters.
I like giving my characters voices and dialects and things.
There's me casting
You
my.
just press transition.
Yeah. There's me casting my little spell there. All right. Hi, everybody. Good? Glad. Awesome. I just want to give you a warning. If you hear random loud pops, cracks, fizzles, or explosions, that's because we are still several weeks away from 4th of July. So, you know, America. All right.
No, it's exactly the same around the 5th of November. From like there's like a 10-day birth around the holiday for some reason.
To be fair, though-
treason and plot.
2 is
Yeah.
not several. It's 2. We're 2 weeks away from 4th of July.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
you can't.
we can-
They've
Uh-huh.
been doing this for 3 weeks already.
They have been
Eh.
quite a bit.
And they're using fireworks that are so loud that I can't see them, but I can certainly hear them.
The other night, it was.
That's the most dadly I think Scott's ever been.
Oh, that's like old man Scott. It's
That's old dad right there.
Honestly, it was pouring out the other night, like downpouring beyond belief, and there were people setting off fireworks. I'm like, are you just standing out there in the rain? Like, is this worth it to you? Is this worth it?
Some people like fireworks.
I mean, I like fireworks, but I'm not gonna go stand in the pouring rain to light them. I'll say, I'll save these for tomorrow.
One of my apartments when I was at uni overlooked a park, which is great. But it was a park where all the city's fireworks were held. So on the 5th of November, I just like sat by the window and watched all the displays for free.
William, you know about sitting there watching displays for free, don't you?
No comment.
Dad's roof.
No comment.
Dad's roof.
This sounds illegal.
Yeah,
No.
whatever you're saying, I plead the fifth.
No, the Charles River would have fireworks off of it, and you could just sit on the roof of Dad's
Charles.
building, and you could watch the fireworks from there. Didn't have to go anywhere. Just like, oh, sit on the roof.
If that's as far as this is going, then yes, I allegedly did that. Just so that allegedly.
I don't what? So, Aaron, what happened last week?
I don't
On.
fucking. Okay, so we went to.
You do because you recapped it in chat.
I did. I did. You put me on the spot, and I wasn't sure. So what we did was we went to Orthos. We talked to Colton. It didn't go well. But then we talked to him again afterwards, and it
No
went
blame.
better.
No blame.
It went better, as in like he offered us his airship and like magical transportation, but not his political support, basically. So we took the magical transportation. We turned into clouds. We went to Crag to talk to Mika, to get her support, and she said, "Yeah, but what have you done for me?" Basically. So we're gonna go get her ships now because what I want her to do is lead the full-on assault.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna go get her ships. We worked with the changelings to do that, and now we're on the boat. Also, I got a bigger dragon mark. That's exciting.
To be fair though, the it wasn't so much a what have you done for me. It was more of a if you want me to do this task, I need more to accomplish it. Okay. Awesome.
Right.
So you guys were sailing towards that area, and you were kind of pulling into the bay area that had all these ships within it. So as you're sailing towards that area, the bay, the way it works is it's kind of like the island stretches outwards and makes like a bulbous bay area that you can get into, but naturally has these peninsulas that grow, like kind of come off of the islands, Israeli peninsulas, that come on either side that make a narrower
Wait,
entrance.
where are we going?
I don't even have the map open anymore.
Just give me a name. I want to see if peninsulas are indeed involved.
There's no peninsulas. It's very round, actually.
No, there are peninsulas.
Are we going to Dreadwood?
I had it up. Yeah, the Dreadwood
On
Isle.
the map, Dreadwood doesn't have peninsulas.
Hold on, now I have to.
Those are not peninsulas.
Lorgaland, kinda, you could argue, because ultimately, like, how
God.
big is a peninsula?
Look to the west and see Outerport. That is a peninsula.
Hold on.
Dreadwood Isle is just an island.
There we go. Sorry. I was like, I was using the wrong keyboard, so I was like, why is things not typing when I go to type them? And now click.
I like how everyone's done maps so far. No one has any idea where they are, what we're doing.
I have a map up.
I have the map up. I see
I
everything.
was looking at access
I
points.
know, but it's just that you calling for it. It's not.
So you have to remember, it's like super zoomed in when you get closer to it, obviously, versus where it is. So Dreadwood Isle, actually, so the where I was placing this is immediately next to the D.
Okay.
So to the left of the D, but obviously
we're gonna
you
get
can't
some
see
D.
you can't see the smaller croppings that
Sure.
are the smaller rocks that kind of grow out and make like you've all been to the beach before, or at least I believe you have, and you've seen how over at the edge of a wharf the rocks come out in like a bay in like a curved way. I understand that oftentimes at beaches that's something that's been man-crafted, but those also exist and naturally formed as well. And in this situation, that is the case, where they kind of come out almost like pincers that close off the bay so it's not completely open to come in and leave. There's a narrower area. But then, as I was saying before we went to looking for maps, when I say narrow, it's not like super narrow, 1-2 ships at a time. It's pretty decently wide. Several ships could pass through without concern of hitting each other, but it's not like there's full free access in and out. And certainly if you don't navigate well, you could hit some of the rocks at low tide that otherwise wouldn't really be a concern. So it does make a naturally defendable bay area, which is why they had chosen this place to rest. And also being in a bay, it gives it a bit of safety from the stormy waters during being so close to the sea wall, and certainly when actual storms kick up, natural ones kick up. So back to that bay. You guys are sailing into it, and as you do so, you see there is one ship that is patrolling. Clearly they have almost like a slight back and forth, but not much to do. Kyrann, you know that our actual patrolling ship in this, you don't move. You just plot yourself in the middle where you know that you can see all bad guys from coming around, and then if you have to move to intercept, you do so then. You're not a guard outside of a tower, but yet here's the ship clearly you can watch them doing their turn as they're turning back to do some more patrolling of the bay area. And so as you guys are coming closer and closer to the bay, obviously the ship notices you, and they're starting to like come about face to sail towards you to intercept you. But Kyrann, you can tell that if you were on a ship that like was Lyrandar created, this is a decent ship, but a better one, you would be able to easily skirt past them and into the bay without them ever being able to properly intercept you for a real combat if you wanted to.
Yeah.
With this ship, you could make do. Fine enough. What would you like to do?
We'll do that.
Are you going to skirt past
I
them?
did. Yeah, I did. I will. I did tell Cal that we were just gonna come in, get our ships, and leave, and not cause any trouble.
Okay.
Well, didn't
Surely
Kel
not
say that
letting
he
them
had people
talk
on
to
the
us is
inside?
more trouble.
Yeah. Didn't Kel say he had people on the inside?
He does, but we don't know who.
So we're going to allow this to play out in RP. We're
Yeah.
going to allow this to play out in RP. Kyrann starts like, all right, put this over there, do that over there, kind of like setting stuff up for the ship to start sailing. And then she grabs the mast and she clearly is at a range, so she's going straight on. Everybody amongst the crew is just doing what you told them to do, or just listening. It's not much crew, it's a small no, you have a real ship. So everybody's doing what they're supposed to do, or just watching. When N says to you, after a bit, so like you've already like more than set your course and are cruising towards, N says to you, Kyrann, you don't seem to be planning to slow down.
No, I was just gonna go to Dreadwood Isle.
I would imagine everybody else who would be on deck that kind of interested in what's going on here, you guys can clearly overhear that. In which case, Ollie.
We're at Dreadwood Isle. We're here
Right,
to talk to
but
them.
the harbor. Should we just talk to them?
I mean,
I feel like getting permission to dock at their harbor would be slightly better to a bunch of these are refugees, correct? They are probably jumpy. They're probably scared, as I have been while I was a refugee.
Actually, I think they're bored. Just because of the way that
That also
So,
happens when you're a refugee.
A jumpy board might be itching for combat.
Which is why I was just gonna go past them.
Who were these people before they became refugees? Merchants?
I think they're from Kubara.
They're from Corvair, so it
Corvair?
depends on the person.
Right. I think we should honestly just stop and at least talk to them.
All right.
When they see
It's
what
the
we can do,
wisest
they
choice.
probably won't
We're
attack.
here for good intentions.
We're here to take their ships.
We're here to
Yes.
convince them to lend their ships. It's all about the way that you word things, Kyrann.
So maybe we should slow down a bit as he looks around, and we're still going just as fast because it's
Yeah.
I'll give the orders to slow down the ship and whatnot.
And they listen to your orders, and
I'll change the direction of the wind.
we'll give an appreciative nod by way of direction of you two. The ship does pull up alongside you guys to dock to speak with you. They pull up alongside with the intention of having face-to-face conversations, so they could theoretically throw planks overboard and walk across, or have you walk across to speak with each other. However, their first pass by, they pass by far too far, like a really great distance. So they end up sailing past you, and then it's about a half-hour period of time. As
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna stare at the other two.
Turn their ship around and then come sailing back up to come alongside you guys.
Guess
This
what?
time-
Starboard doesn't mind the wait.
This time, it is very close. It's one of those things where some of your crew actually go over with the long pikes that you use when you're sailing
it.
to actually help
Push
push
them.
the ship.
Yeah.
Keep it from scratch. It may not have hit, but it was really like
It's protocol.
I meant to graze the curb with my tire as I was parallel parking.
Could you imagine if you were trying to parallel park, a bunch of tiny people came out the side of your car and pushed the curb so that you didn't quite hit it? That's what's happening now. I want that. Give me that.
Ollie would get his license again. So you guys are. So you guys, if that all happens, and again, I imagine Kyrann is very much like. And so when that finally happens, you see the captain of that ship does come over, and they're like, "Why is it that you're heading here? You're clearly not one of the ships of Corvair. You're in the ships from here."
Yeah. We are leading a war effort to bring down this wall and send all of you home, and we are enlisting your help in this.
Who are you?
I'm Kyrann de Lyrindar.
Oh, from House Lyrindar. Oh,
No,
thank
not
God. Oh, okay. Whew. Somebody else is gesturing towards the face.
Her face.
The person shrugs, looks back. He's like, I don't really know much about this place. And they're just kind of ugh. There's the sigh across the ship. How the fuck is this person the captain? And so they do invite you over for talks, so you can come over and speak. And when they come over, it's one of those things where it's a little bit of an awkward silence for a couple seconds. And they're like, so you came to aid? And then more or less you explain even the rudimentary part of your plan. They're like, you're free to proceed to the bay.
Awesome. Thank you.
Get back on your ship and pull away, and obviously taking your distance away from their ship as you do so to not smash or crash or scrape alongside of it, and head in. More or less, the whole thing was a big waste of Kieran's time, and but you guys make your way all the way to the Bay Area, and when you get there, sorry, this thing's being stupid. Ignored. Thank you. So when you guys get into the Bay Area, as you do so, you can clearly tell where the biggest and best dock is for you to actually pull up at on shore. So when you go pull up to the dock, there is somebody that's already waiting to meet you there. And as you guys are literally setting down your plank to settle in, the person literally starts walking up the plank immediately. And as they come aboard the ship, and everybody's like, "Who is this guy?" He's like, "Don't worry, I'm the de facto mayor here. I'm the one that people are speaking to." Which, speaking of, looks about the ship for a second, and then starts walking towards the captain's quarters, and just kind of like lets themselves in.
I follow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys all want to come?
Yeah, I
And-
mean, we might as well. We're kind of like the captain's entourage. More or
I bring
less.
N too.
N's also part of the captain's
Yeah.
entourage. N would be on more things if N wasn't an NPC.
Right.
If N was a PC, N would be like doing all the things.
And was a PC for a while.
I know.
True.
So you guys make your way. So you go into the room where he's already inside there and kind of standing over by a desk and is holding like a compass or something that's in the area and kind of like looking at it. As you guys look in, looks over his shoulder, puts it down, turns back around and says, "I hear you're here to take some ships.
Yep.
Word got to me clean. I understand that we're not supposed to have any qualms or quarrels. You're just taking the ships and going.
Yep.
How many ships you come here for?"
6. It was 6, right?
It was 7 if it was small ones.
Yeah, 7 if we can.
But you want? Did you want the biggest ones for?
No, I actually
Oh,
one of the
fastest
faster ones.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the fastest ones. That's right.
Mhm.
So you say 7. So you say 7. Sorry, it's like
Mhm.
7. Did you have an eye on any of the ships as you sailed to the docks?
I probably would have actually. No, I'll list them off.
I imagine you don't know the name. So you list off the names that you know,
The
plus
types,
3
yeah.
others. Yeah. And he's like, "Very well. I'll get that together for you. To sail them out of here." What was your intention?
To borrow some of your crew.
We can spare very few people because very few people are willing to go.
Mhm. Well,
It
it's a good
was,
thing we're taking small ships then.
it was by volunteer only, but you're gonna have to spare off of your own, seemingly not very well manned vessel to do this.
Several of the people who came with us couldn't sail.
Who would you name as captains of these vessels on their way back?
I would actually name the 6 changelings and N. So I know they can all sail.
I think it's 5 plus n equals 6.
Are we taking 7 ships?
You're taking 7 ships, so I'm saying there are 5 changelings.
Oh, I
technically,
thought there was 6
plus
changelings.
n equals 6. So that means there's still one more ship that would need a captain.
Oh, I probably have do I have Mia
She
on
is
the
with you.
vessel? I'll have her do it.
Okay, well that's Oh wait, no, Mia is
No,
not with you.
yeah.
She's still.
Because she
up
didn't
north.
turn to. Yeah.
She didn't become cloudy, smoky stuff. Oh, that would have been a serious moment for her.
I know, right? Would have been so nice.
She's also, though, like the best person to be looking after the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By far.
No, I think that's all we can do then is 6.
Well, you know, there's you could give Rock a ship. We have other. Or do we literally only have those crew members?
No, you have.
Oh, we have
crew
other?
with you as well.
We have a very small crew, but we probably
very
have someone
tiny
else who's
crew.
You have a couple
capable.
people, but they're sparing people as well, which you can throw 1 or 2 onto this vessel to assist with sealing this ship back. But this one's under Kyrann's control.
Yeah.
I would.
Whoever works.
No, I was gonna say I would suggest. No, I'm not. Never mind. I'm not gonna suggest that.
Who are you gonna suggest?
No, never mind. It's all right.
What's on your mind, Bellum?
No, nothing.
Do you
nothing.
want to captain a ship?
No. I do not want to captain the ship.
And actually,
it out.
kind of like leans over and shoulders Stalbor, which is always surprising to Jim that it's like hitting a wall. It's like,
And then N gets a frown on her face.
Or a smile.
Ooh.
I've learned quite a lot since following Kyrann around. I'm sure I can.
You knew a lot before you followed Kyrann around.
Different strokes for different folks.
It doesn't make any sense in the context of the conversation.
Exactly. He tries to avoid, but doesn't. But
And
then
since
shakes
it
his head like,
doesn't, looks over to Bellum for reassurance on the fact that it doesn't. Yep. And then the stranger in the room is kind of like, even Rock kind of is like, no.
Listen here. I'll happily. I mean, what could possibly go wrong, right?
I mean, if Stalbor is going to man the ship, it shouldn't be hard. He won't have to navigate because he could just follow the other ships. But I wouldn't mind going with him just in case he happens to get lost. I can navigate.
That's a good plan. You know the way of the world. You can navigate by the stars.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
And like, of course, like nods along with that, and the de facto mayor here stands up, gives kind of leaning back, stands up, and says that it's been settled, and he starts walking out of the room.
All right, that was easy.
Kale is loud when you chomp on it.
It's watermelon.
No, I'm eating kale.
Oh.
I made ramen noodles, which means I put tons of vegetables in it, including fresh kale from the farm.
Are you assuming I'm eating
Kale's
watermelon,
good.
Ollie?
Kale's good food. Yes, I am
Are you
assuming.
assuming? That's an assumption right there.
Yes, I am
You
assuming.
don't even know what I'm eating.
On Friday evening, Will eats watermelon.
And Wednesday afternoon. So, you guys make your way.
For now.
You guys make your way back to more or less staying here at this bay. You stay here for about 2.5 days while they get everything together for you. You redistribute. Kyrann, you are not comfortable with the number of crew on any of these vessels, but
It's a short-ish journey.
it's a shortish
Where
journey.
are we going before we leave?
We're probably going. I don't know. Back to last point. No, we're going right to Craig, aren't we?
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, you have
Cool.
to swing by last point. You personally have to swing by last point because you're supposed to turn in this ship to get your other one back to convince.
True. But we still have to borrow the people to take the ships over.
So we're going back to the last point. Unless you want us to go right to Crag and you are the only one to go back to the last point.
That doesn't matter.
Because you can probably move faster than all of
It
us
would just
anyway.
save time, yeah.
Okay,
'Cause-
that's fine.
Yeah, because you could probably get to last point and then to Crag before we can get to Crag. You can control the wind.
Okay. So you guys all head out and head in that direction.
Before we head out, because we're going to be separating, I will grab Stalbor's arm at some point
hello.
before he goes, shut up. And I will say, Bellum followed you when we were in Orthos. I know you bought an urn, and I'm very sorry that I didn't talk to you about it. I don't know what I can do to help you. So
I don't need help. Be honest, Kyrann, I have not ever had the most healthy morning process.
no, I think it's fine.
It's fine. Everything will be fine.
when you do that, like it's clear Stella was
Clearly.
going to talk a lot more, and then he's just like, "Yes, I think it's fine. I think I'm going to be fine anyway,
Okay.
unless
good.
I
I'm glad.
drown." Can you believe that a year ago I had a horrible fear of the sea and of sailing in general, and now I'm a captain of a ship?
Yeah, that's not a whole lot of time for you.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be fine. You'll be fine.
It'll be a lot better when I'm in control. Hopefully.
Hey. And that's all.
Yeah, we'll skip off. You'll peck on the cheek. We'll head off.
Mhm.
And then grab Bellum. Not anything to say, but he's going to be very friendly with Bellum on this journey. To be fair, they've been pretty friendly for like a little while. But
So you guys make your sailing out there.
joint captains.
Kyrann, could you roll for me your waterways check? But you're going to be rolling with disadvantage because you're not going to go the way you want to go. You're going to go in like the kiddie pool way to try to make everybody follow you.
I'm just going to throw out there, by the way, that you call it something different every time. It's a
Yep.
vehicle water check. Okay.
Yep.
So you know.
It's because I don't like what it's called. It should be profession sailor.
I have a whole system for sailing, and it's such a shame we never got to experience it.
So you get a 25 and lead them very, very well. Stalbar, could you roll your waterways
Is it
check?
intelligence?
Too? It is based off of
Because I obviously don't have proficiency in it, so I just need to know what it is.
give me a second. No, because you don't have to worry about plotting courses or anything. You're just following her. So it's actually going to be more of a wisdom for this one.
Alright.
Okay, so he fails and says, "Hey, Bellum, can you captain this ship?"
I don't know I failed.
I know. Bellum
Kyrann,
knows you.
at some point in time along your journey, you're setting a pretty simple task, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're following suit. But at one point in time, you hear the person up in your eagle's nest say, "Captain,
Yeah.
there's one of the ships is waving, trying to get our attention. Hold on." Oh, they're gesturing back to another ship. I can barely see them. They're so far. Looks like they're waving, like they're doing a line, like they're trying to send a message from way back. Captain, I think I only see 6 ships following us.
Where's the 7th?
Yeah, I don't know, but wasn't it the one your friends were in?
Bellum, I turn around for 5 seconds. He was gone for like 5 hours. And I can't see any of the other ships. What did you do?
Wait, you weren't just manning?
I
You
mean,
weren't at the helm?
I was, but then I saw something in the water and I got distracted.
Oh my! I look up, like I'm
I
like,
look around like everything. I just see blue. How do they do it?
I go to any of the crew that's with us. Is there-
I assume we had a pilot because
You had three people with you guys, 3 whole people.
Yeah, 3 people, and I'm like, to be honest, I wasn't paying attention. I thought Stalbor had it. We had just started our journey.
All right. So you know what's gonna happen? I'm gonna tell so and so to take the helm. I'm gonna fly up into the air and cast a lightning bolt.
All right.
oh
In the
Otherwise,
clear
we
blue
have to wait
sky.
till nighttime before I can navigate.
Right.
yeah.
Mostly clear. There's a couple of like little poof clouds here and there, nothing. Mostly clear.
Should we roll
Stalbor and
perception?
Bellum, roll perception checks, please.
Mm-hmm.
But roll it with disadvantage because it's a lightning bolt, not clouds, in a blue sky.
Wouldn't it just be passive?
It's more we're trying to hear the sound, but it's sound when we're on the ship. It's not my day. Evidently. This is why Bellum coming with Stalbor was a good idea.
Bellum,
Yeah.
Bellum, right at the same exact time that Stalbor sneezes, you're like, I think I heard something. Like you think, well, you don't have to necessarily say that, but you actually think you heard something, and you thought you saw a flash of light at the same exact time that Bellum sneezed.
So I turn to Stalbor and say, I think they're trying to send us a message, but I don't know what that message is. I point vaguely in the direction I assume it was.
Which is unfortunately like a solid, like, a fourth of the directions that you could choose.
Yeah, and I'm just like,
way?
that way?
And then that's the way we go.
I wait like 10 more minutes, go down, do some more sailing, pop back up, and then fire off another lightning bolt.
Okay.
Pretty good
While
system.
you're waiting a little bit, the person who was calling ahead says, "So where'd they go?"
Well, if I knew that, I wouldn't be signaling for them, would I?
You want us to space out so we can get a bigger eye?
No, I don't want you guys going anywhere.
No, if we space out so the ships can barely see each other, we have like a bigger eye for them to see us.
Yeah, no.
It's a tactic that we usually use when kids go missing in the woods.
It's a great tactic, but I don't want any of you guys to get lost. I don't want to lose more than one of you.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, not everybody else is a good captain. And so he kind of shuts up and goes back to work, and you continue with your task. 10 minutes later, you go up, you throw a lightning bolt. You guys can roll another perception check. This time you can roll a normal one, though. You don't have disadvantage. You're welcome.
We kind of know what we're looking for now.
Wow.
Hey.
You guys,
It happens. We both look at each other and be like,
Yeah, we just both point there. Kieran's that way.
Yep.
Stalbor, do you think you can handle manning the helm now?
oh, absolutely, of course. Never a doubt in my mind.
Stalbor goes back to reading.
I'm a master of magic. I'm a master of life and death. How hard can it be to sail a boat?
Let's not forget, the last time you learned to use somebody else's magic item, sorry, somebody else's form of travel, you crashed it and broke it.
No, I crashed it into someone. Which was deliberate and awesome. So don't you try and sass me.
I think it's
that.
funny you never fixed that either.
We weren't in Shan.
Yeah, that's a good point. So anyways, you guys make your way over in that direction, kind of like pick up the pace, so on and so forth. And after a while, eventually, you can see the sails of a ship far off. And oh, we see him, Captain. We see him. And you are able to pick up the pace and get closer. And eventually, you guys kind of like gather back into the fold. Beautiful. You make your way all the way. Sorry, actually, I'm gonna need another round of checks for you guys. Sorry, because it is a.
Oh, yeah.
kind of a
It's
journey.
still wisdom.
Yes.
Wisdom.
Well, Kieran's gonna set the roll first.
I'll definitely let Bellum do these rolls.
We will action point that.
Oh, go ahead. You do that first.
Why did I roll?
Because now action points are 2d6
Okay.
take
Yeah,
the
yeah.
rest.
Which
Yeah.
is weird.
I think I saw like 3 roll. Yeah, right?
I saw a D20 roll across as well.
Yeah,
You
I think-
Exactly.
roll.
It's weird.
can see it on my screen. So so anyways, so you roll
Maybe,
the 4,
maybe
so
they've
16.
changed how dice work in Roll20, which is why we had all those weird things happening yesterday.
Maybe. So when you roll, when you get your 16 Starboard, you're able to roll, and I won't give you
I
a
would
penalty.
rather let Bellum do this.
So I literally I come up to
Now
the
it's
helm
clear
and
it's something that Stauble's smart enough to realize that Bellum would be better at this.
yeah, I'm just like I'll look, see what I can do.
You look at the other ships. You tell me where to go.
Bellum takes over as captain. There was a mutiny.
It's not mutiny.
We're joint captains.
We're equal, Scott.
The first mate is now the captain. I am the captain now. And
You
there's
are
a
not-
We're
mutiny.
both first mate.
Star Wars, you do not know the way.
And so you guys go, make your way all the way to the last point, all the way to the city. No more reason to drag our feet from here. From there, you're able to switch over to your stupid little keelboat that you had. The rest of the extra crew that you had could kind of filter into the other ships, making things a bit easier for them. Kyrann, do you stay in the keelboat for most of the travel back to Crag, or do you want to go on one of the ships to make somebody else deal with it, or how do you want to handle that?
Oh, I'll handle it because I don't want anybody to break it or lose it or. Yeah.
Awesome. So you guys are making your way from last point all the way back out to Crag. Kyrann, one more time.
Oh,
Okay.
that's bad. I will action point that as well.
Okay. So adding a 3 to get to a 12. Bellum, of course, is having an easier time because he's riding a big ship, but he's pulling up the rear, and you're leading the way in your keelboat, which is hilarious. But eventually, you guys, it takes a much longer time, but eventually you get back to Crag, and you sail your way around to where it is. When you pull up into port there, and you've got a handful of people with you, then immediately there's fucking drama. As soon as the ships pull up and people start getting off the ships, like, oh, oof, this is nice. Some of the locals in the town start walking the way over, like cracking their knuckles and like, oh, let's shake them down. You know what I mean?
I fire a lightning bolt at one of their feet.
Wait, were you stopping at last point first to switch ships?
Yeah, we already did that.
Yeah, we
Okay,
already did that
just
to get
making
that
sure.
little boat.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, no, I fire a lightning bolt like right next to him.
Kyrann uses intimidation and more or less just kind of like brushes things along. Like, I wouldn't do that. And so they're like,
And then they're like, "Oh shit, that's Kyrann.
yeah. And so
We heard of her."
They leave it be, and you can go and make your way over to speak to Mika. Now, you weren't at this port before. You didn't make your way to this port before. You were stopped outside of it. So this is your first time in this port city. So to describe it, it's fucking chaos. I mean, first of all, the average person that lives here is not very bright or very civilized. So their idea of what's considered a home, and then beyond that, their capability to craft what they consider to be a home, are both kind of terrible. So you have lean-tos, you have shanties, you have shacks, and what would effectively be carports. You know what I mean? But none of them are really held very high or very well, so on and so forth. But people don't really care. You know what I mean? Some people just straight up walk around naked. Others like dressed up like in full-blown armor. They don't care. There's no order or organization here. There's full-on fist fights happening right as you get into the dock area. There's somebody that's literally bashing somebody's face in to the point that you're pretty sure they're killing them. This place is just raw chaos. But nobody gives a shit. They're all just going about their own lives and doing what they're doing. Making your way over to Mika is not the most difficult thing, because She clearly has like the nicest building here, which, by the way, when I say the nicest building, there's kind of like a rocky area where she was able to take a cave that naturally existed and use that as half of her home. And that actually has a fairly well constructed, even by standards of most other cities, building put in the front of that rocky crag area. So when you first go walking into the front door of this fairly well constructed building, made out of stone, mind you, with wooden reinforcements and whatnot, when you first go walking in and you see the big wide area that's within and the cool air that's in there, because it's made out of the stone, which actually keeps a lot of the heat out. The cool air that's inside there, you can actually see the back half of what would be this building is just a big hole in the wall that leads into a cave. There's a few people about here. Most of them are sitting around and having conversations with one another, or like sharpening a weapon. They look up to see who's there, but they don't like really react or anything. It's kind of like they expected you, but it's not like they don't care that you're there, but they're also not in awe that you're there. It's more or less like you're just people passing through that they expected. So when you go walking into the room, walking into this place, Meek is actually off to the side having, we're going to say, a conversation with somebody. But by having a conversation with somebody, they're bound up to a stone, arms and legs stretched wide, bound to a stone. And she's slowly pouring bits of alcohol on their face, while in one hand and on their face and like their chest and whatnot, while holding a torch in the other hand and just like, questioning them about something. And as you see this, you see the kind of what she's doing and taking in the area, taking in the ambiance. It's at this point in time you notice there is that faint smell of old rot and burnt flesh that lingers in the air. You're like, oh, this has happened before. And she's questioning the person, but as she you guys are kind of like making your way into the area, is there anything that you do immediately, or are you just kind of taking it in?
Just gonna take it in. I bet this place would be really fun for a wild night, so maybe we'll come back for that.
Everybody else?
Are we all together?
I
Yep.
imagine so. You were last
I
time.
didn't know if we all docked at the same time.
And we just scattered.
That's right, you weren't there last time. This is you guys' first time meeting Mika.
I met Mika, didn't I?
I haven't.
Yeah.
I guess I have no real concern about any of this place. I look on all the people in their chaotic lives with deep interest and a smile on my face.
Okay.
I'm at very least amused.
As you guys keep walking in, you just settle in. Maybe you're not interested in watching, maybe you are. But eventually she looks up and sees you there, and she's like, oh! And that was a loud echo. And she takes the bottle and upside down plops it into the person who's stretched back over the rock's mouth. So it's kind of like one of those, they can block it with their tongue, or they can have tons of alcohol pouring down their throat, which could drown them. So they're like, and kind of uncomfortably there with the bottle shoved in their mouth. As she makes her way over to it, she's like, ow, hey, you got back, and that took a while, but I'm glad to see you made it.
We brought you 7 ships.
7 big fat old bellies, did ya? Something to bring all the troops in?
Yep.
The biggest they had.
Oh, I'm glad. Big ships to deliver the message. Oh, I'm so excited for when it is that we take over all the ports. This is going to work out great.
I don't correct her. So, I'm going to leave some people here. And that was a mistake. I shouldn't have said it like that. I'm going to leave some people here. And we will let you know when we're going to attack. Because we still have to set up the attack on the barricade.
How long am I waiting?
How long does it take to get back to Orthos? God, a long time. A few months.
A month and a half, I think,
Yeah.
or 2 months just to get back to Orthos.
A few months, I tell her. We have to do this right. I know. I would very much like to just attack myself, but that won't accomplish what we're trying to accomplish.
Is Rock still breathing?
Yeah, Rock's doing well.
Oh.
We'll take him with us.
Oh.
Yeah.
We've taken quite a shine to your boy.
Oh.
No, nothing.
What are you laughing at?
Just the two different O's.
No, that's Bellum.
Oh,
that's
and then-
Stalbor saying that.
Oh.
We take in a lot of misfits.
Then we're come to agreements. The person on the rock over there starts like convulsing a little bit, and the guy next to him's like, Mika, he's drowning over here. She's
Do
like,
you-
eh. She's like, eh.
Do you need to help with that?
She looks at you and is like, she looks at you like, she's seeing you for the first time, and you are like very out of place. It's like she's seeing you for the first time, and she's like, what?
Well, I mean, if you accidentally kill him and still need answers.
Oh, he was just making things up.
If you don't mind me asking, what'd he do?
I was asking questions.
We should take you to the ships so you can see them.
Ah, good idea. The convulsing really slows down, and then like a twitch or two later, stops moving entirely.
It's a really good thing Reich wasn't here for this part.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stalbor and Bellum, like, just don't give enough of a shit.
It's
Just
close.
a
It's
little
close.
bit too little. Yeah, it's close.
It's
Like,
so close where it's like, if I had an opportunity to do it without starting a riot, I would. But I'm not going to start the riot to do it, and Reich would start the riet. Reich would start the
Mike
riot.
could just cut her down. Like, nope, I'm taking over this town. We
Yeah.
need rules, laws, red tape. I have prepared a manifesto.
Yep. That's exactly what Reich would do.
Oh. All right. So, anyways, you guys make your way to back to the ships with her, and she's actually genuinely excited to see the ships and whatnot. She's like walking up and down and checking them out. She's very excited. One of the things that you notice is you see, of course, there's now 7 ships plus the keelboat in port. You also see 3 out of her 6 ships are docked in port right now, and like way off into the horizon, you can see another one's kind of like patrolling the area, which is 4 out of her 6 ships that you can kind of like see about. The other 2, who knows? But so you guys are making your way. So you make your way back to that place, and she's like, well, after like spending an hour there looking things over, she's like, well, thanks for showing me the ships. Let me show you yours. And we'll bring you back over to one of the ships that you brought to her. And says it's literally the smallest and saddest of all the ships. And she's like, I spared a ship for you. Don't thank me. I spared you a ship.
That was,
Awesome.
yep.
a fine vessel.
Oh, it is. And the best part about a ship like this, you don't need much to crew it.
You are most generous.
That's good. All right.
And so the 3 of you, En and Haldren, climb aboard the ship.
I will say, based on my intelligence and being sailing around, is there any way I could figure out to upgrade this ship to make it sail a little nicer using Fabricate? Because I can do it twice per day, and that's a 10-meter area, I want to say. 10-foot cube. Well, let me check. 10-foot cube.
You can upgrade like the rudder.
Yeah.
And then just have like people like Bellum and yourself super strong, like replace it. You can upgrade like some of the netting area that you use to get up and down, and like the ropes and like the actual like what are they called, pulleys that
Kind of similar to what was happening in Dark Sun, basically just, you know, using the magic to newen things. Yeah.
What's Dark Sun?
You know, never mind. But yeah, that'll be what I do for like the first days of sailing, is just sort of make the ship an easier ride.
Sure. Do you take anybody else with you on top of your 5? Because remember, that means that all
Rock.
the sailors are
Rock.
and Rock. All the sailors are U6.
Well, I was gonna ask about the changelings,
Oh,
but we should have discussed that probably when I was in last point.
I'm so sorry. Those changelings are coming with you.
They are? Okay. Because one of them was probably definitely gonna stay here, I imagine.
Sure, you want to do that?
Yeah.
So we'll,
I mean, Last Point is so close. He can stay in Last Point and for like a month and then just go to Crag eventually. I don't think we're gonna need to have a lot of communication with her for the next month. So
All the changelings would be more than happy to go with you, straight with you to wherever it is that you're going. And so I would imagine that all 5 of them came to Crag with you. And that when it came time to leave Crag, and she's like, all right, just you 6 kind of a thing. And these 5 are like, no, we're going with her. And then I imagine this is where you could pull aside that. You'd be like, no, we don't need all of them. I mean, you can pull aside the changeling and have a conversation. So fast forwarding to that conversation that you have with the changeling, you know, kind of like,
who wants to stay here? As Kyrann or otherwise.
One of them kind of comes to the realization of what you're asking. One of them nods and steps forward. A half second later, somebody else does as well, but then realizes they were second, so we'll step backwards.
All right, thank you.
For the lives of Last Point. And we'll turn and just kind of like walk back. And as they walk into like the chaotic area just off the docks, they literally just walk up to a random person and punch the person in the face and grab the because of course they're disguised as like a regular person. Punch the guy in the face and then grab the woman that's next to them and give the woman a kiss, and she's like, oh, and then they kind of just jumps in and melds in with this fucking ridiculous society that exists here.
Also, I would have asked Kel when I was in Last Point, is there a way for them to communicate with each other? Because I believe the changelings had that. They could communicate with inside of here.
I mean, it's changelings don't have psionic abilities with one another.
Right.
But they probably have magical items to
Okay.
allow very minor, like sending stones. So
Because
remember,
if we could
sending
have instantaneous communication between the areas, that is the ideal.
sending stones aren't necessarily just 2 stones. So what they would have is 5-way sending stones. And so each stone can communicate up to 25 words as a one-time message that goes to the other 4.
Awesome.
So you're not a part of that communication. They are with each other.
That's fine.
Okay.
I was hoping N would also be part of that communication, but he doesn't have to be.
Those 5 have those 5 stones.
Gotcha.
You could probably add to that chain, but you'd have to get more stones.
Yeah. Okay.
So
right.
You take 4 of them, and now you actually have a lot of sailors. So you're good. And you start making your way back up north. Kyrann, where is your plan to go to next?
I think we're going to go right back to Orthos.
So you're going to go the long haul.
Yes.
The long way home. I want to do the map.
It's a long trip.
If I remember correctly, by the way the bird flies to the southernmost part of Orthos was like 1,500 miles. You're not going the way the bird flies, and you're going to the southernmost, so it's almost like 2,200 miles.
Yeah.
Oh God.
How many miles a day do you sail?
Literally traveling across the continent.
How many miles a day do you sail on a regular ship?
More than she should.
Because she's exhausted, and just lesser restoration.
Yeah.
Lesser restoration.
Very unhealthy, but Stalball is an elf, so doesn't see it as being unhealthy.
Yeah. She's like drugged
She only
up.
needs 4 hours of sleep, right?
Hold on, I'm trying to do.
And during those 4 hours, Stalbor's like, yeah, I'll man the helm. Sure.
I did so well last time. No, but literally would have been a conversation, be like, I'm never going to make fun of your captaining again.
Oh, thank you. You make fun of my captaining.
Only when it's hilarious.
They usually do about
It better
90.
be hilarious.
You can usually hit about with good quality ships like these are about 96 miles a day. And so how did I say 2,100? There you go.
Remember, Kyrann can control the wind.
That just means that
That's
you're not going to
probably-
get slowed down, and
21 days.
so it's actually going to take you surprisingly less than a month
That's actually really good. I was expecting like a month and a half.
to get back up there.
I think we get a lot of leeway from your very unhealthy habits.
Yeah.
Oh.
And the fact that you're like literally a Jesus child of the sailing people.
So you're going to sail your way all the way back to Orthos, all the way back to his port, and when you finally take port there and you pull up next to the bowl of the sea, you can actually see that it is doing far better than it has in a long time, but certainly not the best you've ever seen it. It is actually a heartening sight for that. And then as your ship pulls up next to it, and a few of your crew happen to be just like aboard the ship, avoiding having to be in town, it's like, I won't get away for a minute. When they see Kyrann come, they're like, oh, Kyrann! And so these are some the last remaining few of your original crew.
Yeah.
And they're very happy. Actually, Mia comes rushing up to you and gives you a hug.
Aw, I give her a hug back.
She's like, I thought you were dead.
It really hasn't been that long. We went on the other side of the continent.
They said you turned into a cloud.
Well, yes, but I do that.
I
all
didn't
the
know
time.
if that was like an idiom.
No. Well, I'm alive, so that's good.
I'm happy to see you're alive. Well, I should show you what they did to the ship because it's ugly. And she like brings you aboard the ship to show you the repairs that they made. And it's functional, fully functional, and that's what matters. Right here, we will take a break so that we can kind of like pick back up at being back at Orthos, and so I can finish eating my now cold soup. Stupid D&D get in the way of food. Bye.
Should have just made us talk to each other.